With Ninjala Season 4 in its final week, I figured it was about time again to write my review of Ninjala Season 4. Initially, I had written a full script for this video, but honestly, this time around, I mainly scrapped that idea instead of a full script, and I actually have a list of bullet points this time around on subjects within Season 4 that I'd specifically like to talk about. So, with that being said, hello ladies and gentlemen and all the core gamers out there, CAJman777 here today to bring you my review of Ninjala Season 4. Of course, before I go any further into this video, though, I'd just like to remind everybody that if you're enjoying this kind of video, do me a favor and hit that like button, or even leave a comment. Small stuff like this provides me invaluable feedback on how this channel progresses moving forward, and if you guys like this kind of content or not. Of course, on top of that, I'd also like to remind everyone that we're trying to go big this year and reach a big goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. So make sure you also hit that subscribe button as well, because not only do you guys seem to really enjoy the Ninjala content, but it actually turns out that 65% of you, almost 66% of you who actually watch these videos are not actually subscribed to the channel. Anyways, you guys are probably here for Ninjala Season 4, right? So yeah, my review. Let's get right into that. Honestly, again, like I said, I have no particular script for this video, and you're mainly probably just going to see some background footage or footage from other videos I made throughout Ninjala Season 4. And honestly, I guess the biggest thing to really start with Ninjala Season 4 was the trailer. I'm gonna be real. I did not like the Season 4 trailer at all. It was not what I was expecting at all. The Jane and Ron thing I think was hilarious, and that was probably the best part of the trailer for me. I honestly think they kind of dropped the ball with this trailer a little bit, especially with the killer of a trailer that they had in Season 3 and even Season 2. They really kind of dropped the ball for Season 4, so hoping they do fix this in Season 5. And you know, it's just how it is sometimes with how you set up trailers and stuff. But something to me just, it didn't really kick. I know the trailer was a direct reference to something with the Jane and Ron thing and them like walking through the sky. I initially thought like Peter Pan or something like that, but I don't think that's actually the case. I think it's actually a reference to something else, and I don't know the name of it, unfortunately. Which is probably why I didn't really understand the trailer that much. I just really wasn't a big fan of the Season 4 trailer. Yeah, it's cool. They showed off all the new gear and some not cool collab stuff like they did last season, which I think was probably still my favorite trailer to date. It was the Season 3 trailer. But honestly, this trailer, if I had to give the overall Season 4 trailer just a rating, I would say it was probably like at best a 5 out of 10 for me. I wasn't really that impressed with it, besides the whole Jane and Ron joke that apparently the Ninjala community, obviously, they understand that whole Jane and Ron thing going on. But taking a sip of my coffee real quick, because I decided to make some coffee before I recorded this, because I needed to. But obviously the Season 4 trailer, it kicked off a brand new season for Ninjala. Season 4 actually, oddly enough, was one of the longer running seasons for Ninjala. Obviously, Season 4 length, it started on January, basically it started on January 6th, January 7th, if you were technically like across the world or something like that. And it actually runs until March 25th. So the season, like I said, it's in its final week, but it hasn't really finished yet. So honestly, this is probably one of the longer seasons of Ninjala. And according to their roadmap, we are going to be seeing some longer seasons going forward, which I actually really do like with the with Ninjala Season 4. I actually like a little bit of a longer season, because it felt like the first 2 seasons, they were really, really short. But these seasons feel like they are much better length. Early January to the end of March. That's like almost 2 full months, pretty much more than 2 full months. It's almost 3 full months of being able to do stuff with the pass and run events and stuff. So I was very happy with that. But speaking of the pass, the battle pass this time around in Season 4, it was good. It was good. I know a lot of people weren't super happy with it. Honestly, I think the Season 3's pass kind of blew everything out of the water that we had. But I actually really like the Season 4 pass. The Tier 100 skin was absolutely amazing for Season 4. In fact, I rock it all the time now, because I just love the feel of the outfit and stuff. But no, I think the pass was really awesome, and obviously the permanent weapon skins, having that was really cool. Having the Ninjala pass and being able to have permanent weapon skins was really important. And obviously those permanent weapon skins I'm going to be bringing up again, and something we're going to talk about a little bit later in this review. specifically, but I really like all the changes they made in this pass and stuff. So I was very pleased with the pass, so I'm not going to go too much further into that. The only thing, again, that I really wanted to see changed in the Ninjala Season 4 pass was, I still think free pass players, I still can't say that to this day. Free pass players, I still think need to get a full costume by tier 100, and I will stand by that until the day it happens. So, you know, that's really my whole spiel on the pass. So I really got nothing more on the pass. But of course, along with Ninjala Season 4, as you guys know, we got a new map and we got new weapons for Season 4. Fort Riverdale. Let's start with the map. I love this stage. This stage is really... This stage is probably one of the prettiest stages that Ninjala has come up with. And now we're not getting a new stage in Season 5, which is fine. Save it. Obviously, maybe some more time to balance the game with not having that. But, man, I love Fort Riverdale. I think it's very aesthetically pleasing. The gimmick of the stage having warp panels is really cool. It's got grind rails. You're basically battling around Big Ben, in the London Eye is in the background, just out of the arena. And it's really cool. You can tell the whole map is based on London and stuff. And it was just, I think, one of the coolest ideas for a map. Yeah, the one problem I really do have with Fort Riverdale, though, there are a couple drone locations that can spawn on the lower half of Fort Riverdale under the ground. The camera, sometimes under the ground, if you get hit and if you have to fight someone underground, the camera can just wonk out. And honestly, that's really the only gripe I have with Fort Riverdale. I think otherwise it's a great mid-sized map. It doesn't feel too small. There's still a lot of movement to move around on. I mean, there's multiple levels of elevation. There's top corners. There's a nice mid-level. There's a little bit like mid-top on top of the Big Ben Tower, which large drones usually spawn at first. So there's always a lot of contesting around that middle tower. And it's just, honestly, I think the map overall was really good. The Fort Riverdale for me is like a solid 8. So I was very pleased with that. But we also got the addition of some new weapons in Season 4. Now, the Scrap Saber and the Chewing V. These weapons are awesome. These things are awesome. And I really wish they get treated nicely as the game moves forward, because I think this is probably one of the most balanced weapons they've come up with in the game. Next to, I would probably say, the brake hammers. Skateboards are a little broken, but the reason skateboards are a little broken is because they're the abilities they have stacking Sweet Ride. That's why skateboards are so broken. It's not actually in the actual combos themselves. It's the actual ability scaling. But the Scrap Saber and Chewing V, these things feel so good in everybody's hands. I mean, these things, they have a wide attack that pulls players in closer, so you can get a followed up guaranteed hit. Granted, I still wish that I do hope they give the wide attack a little bit more range. I don't mind its speed, but you can be shut down on very quickly, as my phone just goes off in the middle of a recording session. Why is that not on silent? I don't know. But the whole system with the Scrap Saber and Chewing V having a wide attack that pulls opponents in for a guaranteed follow-up attack is great. Having a defensive support option for the special abilities and being able to add that into the offensive kit with a Froggy Block on Scrap Saber and Chewing V. I mean, these things are really good in terms of combo things. Now, unfortunately, the one thing the Scrap Saber and Chewing V suffers from is a lack of hit detection online with a back attack into a normal attack, unless your opponent is bound, which honestly I really think they need to fix, because one of the best engagement tools for the Scrap Saber and the Chewing V is that back into normal string, and unfortunately 9 out of 10 times that does not connect properly online, and I really wish I hope they do fix that out, or at least increase the speed of the normal attack, or at least increase the tracking of it, because that's the reason it misses online most of the time, but it doesn't miss in the training range. Nothing misses in the training range. Every combo that is supposed to work works in the training range. It makes perfect sense. But yeah, I think the Scrap Saber and Chewing V, I mean, these things were great additions. The Froggy Block, like I said, a fantastic defensive special and an offensive special as well to combine with Wall Shooter and Stealing a Hyena for some just insanely quick bind routes on Chewing V. If you want to play an offensive Chewing V or an offensive Scrap Saber, there are some Froggy Block combos that just work sometimes. They're not always guaranteed to work, because if your opponent's reaction time is good enough, they can avoid it, but like, oh, it's so awesome. I really think this is one of the more fun weapons to play in Ninjala, despite it having some, you know, slight lack of hit detection. So the new weapons, 9. Hands down, the new weapons for me were 9. The only reason they lose a point, that slight lack of hit detection. Alright, so obviously we talked about a couple good things here in the start of this review, and granted I've only been talking for 10 minutes, but this video is probably going to go on for another 10 minutes anyway. Let's talk about the meta change of Season 4 and the fall of the Trick Ball. So, in Season 4, Trick Ball, in Season 3 more specifically I should say, Trick Ball could get beyond the gum consistently, which is that attack that changes you into soft serve, or aka poo, and then your opponents can just absolutely beat you down very quickly with a Trick Ball or Mellow a la mode, and it was pretty much impossible to counter. If a Trick Ball hits you with that, done, over, you're gone, eliminated. But now, with the increased cooldown on Beyond the Gum standard, the Trick Ball kind of fell off a little bit in the meta. But what we didn't realize is the meta was going to be overtaken by something that is just so damn broken. If this thing isn't fixed in Season 5, it's going to ruin this game. And that is the UTSU Master Shinobi card. Not the Shinobi card itself. It's not the card itself. It's not the abilities on the card itself. It's the function of the actual Utsutsemi and why it is so broken. So, Utsutsemi Master basically is for those who don't know, it's basically like a deployable decoy. You can change into it. Your opponents can change into it, technically, if they're close enough to it. But there's a fake Utsutsemi drop, and there's a real Utsutsemi drop. The real Utsutsemi drop with Utsutsemi Master, with the Utsutsemi Master Shinobi card, staggers and applies gum damage to your opponent. Here's the problem. And here's why it's really kind of taken over the meta. You can drop one every 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds. So I could run into an engagement, drop an Utsutsemi on somebody, hit them twice, jump again, drop an Utsutsemi, don't even need to rely on my gum kit at all, and you're bound. And then you're E-pwned. The Utsutsemi Master is, in its current state, it is very broken, and it is very spammable. It is not, and again, I don't think this is the Shinobi card's problem. It is the I think it is specifically a problem with the cooldown on the Utsutsemi Master itself. So hopefully in Season 5, we're going to get some increased cooldown on that Utsutsemi Master, because so many people are running it now, it is actually ruining the game. You can't go into a single lobby anymore and not see at least 2 people running Utsutsemi Master. Even me, I try and avoid it because I think it is just absolute garbage playstyle. Using an Utsutsemi in mid-combo takes some skill, and that's legit because you have to time it. But when you can just spam it, it's ridiculous. There's some clips, I'm sure a lot of people in the Ninjala community have seen them, of just Utsutsemi Masters, spammers, just running to drones, and just constantly dropping an Utsutsemi back and forth on the drone. Because guess what? Utsutsemis explode in air, and they explode when they touch drones as well. So I'm hoping that gets adjusted as well, because anybody around a drone that just gets hit with an Utsutsemi, staggered, dead, goodbye. I mean, it's... The Utsutsemi Master meta is a game, it's a game ruiner. It's a game breaker, and honestly, it's probably the reason I played less Ninjala in Season 4. And I'm sure a lot of people played less Ninjala in Season 4 just because of this silly meta that I can't stand it. So here's hoping that in Season 5, Utsutsemi Master is going to get a bit more of a cooldown, or alternatively, hoping Utsutsemi Master actually costs some S energy to drop, so it's actually going to take some skill to use, and you're not actually just going to be able to spam it. Maybe cost like 2 or 3 S energy every time you want to drop an Utsutsemi, rather than having just a 3-second cooldown. Maybe even increase the cooldown on top of the S energy, but who knows? I mean, that's just my thoughts on the Utsutsemi Master, and that's just something that needs to happen. That's something that needs to happen, and I absolutely... It needs to happen now, pretty much. Season 5, it's got to happen. Hopefully, we'll see an adjustment for it within a week here. But... that actually brings me to my next thing. It brings me to my next thing, and that's on the topic of patches. So, once again, for Ninjala Season 4, we did not get a mid-season patch like most games do. And this kind of disappoints me, because I think if Ninjala, and granted, the team over at Gung Ho, remember that one of the devs behind Ninjala is actually the CEO of Gung Ho themselves. So imagine how much work he has to put into Ninjala, and then all the rest of the games Gung Ho has for Ninjala. That's a lot of work, but I mean, granted, Ninjala also has, I believe, a smaller team working on it compared to a game like Teppen, which is their really big one. Puzzles and Dragons or Let It Die. You know, Let It Die is like a full game. Teppen's constantly getting updates. Puzzles and Dragons constantly getting updates. Ninjala's constantly getting updates. So, I mean, there's a lot of work. But I think despite having such a small team, I still think there need to be more balance patches in the game. I think the game right now is in a state where balance patches will iron out everything this game has to offer, and a lot of people I think feel the exact same way about it as well. So I'm hoping starting Season 5 or maybe the first anniversary with Season 6, because I am a patient person and I will wait till the first anniversary, because once Ninjala becomes a year old, man, what an accomplishment for that game. Because, I mean, there's more stuff we're going to talk about a little bit later that I really enjoyed in Season 4 as well, but I'm kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of it right now and talking about this. But a mid-season patch, despite the patch at the beginning of every season, I do think we need a mid-season patch about halfway through the season to adjust the meta that is constantly changing in Ninjala. Much like any game that can be played competitively, the meta is going to be constantly changing and evolving. People are going to be finding new strategies when patches come out and weapons get nerfed or everything. But you have to find a balance. Dropping one patch at the beginning of the season and saying, everybody have fun for 2 months, and not actually following up with another possible balance patch that people have been clamoring for, that hurts. And I know they're under a lot of stress. I know they're under a lot of stuff to get it done, but Ninjala is at a point where mid-season patches, at least one, just one at the beginning, one in the middle of the season, that would make my day, or one like 3/4 of the way through the season. That would make my day, because not only is that less work for them to patch out in the next season, but obviously it's adjusting game balance and hit detection issues and stuff like that. So hopefully, you know, we get more mid-season patches. I think a lot of people would like some mid-season patches as well. So that's kind of where I stand on the whole patches and the UTSU meta kind of thing, and where I feel like the game kind of stands a little bit. But that's enough of the nitty-gritty and the seriousness, because there's still some really good stuff I haven't talked about that happened in Ninjala Season 4. First off, the game has 6 million downloads now, which is incredible. Those 6 million downloads happened within the first month of Season 4. So there are 6 million Switches out there in the world that downloaded Ninjala at some point. And honestly, that's a big accomplishment for a game that's not even a year old yet. It's you know, I compare Ninjala's success in its downloads. I can't really compare it to my Monster Hunter franchise and Monster Hunter World, which is the best-selling Capcom game of all time. But 6 million downloads on a handheld console that you can take on the go, you can hook up the Wi-Fi somewhere and just play with your friends. That's an incredible accomplishment for Ninjala. So you know what? Congrats to them on 6 million downloads going through Season 4. I really hope at some point Ninjala gets 10 million downloads, or you know, the Ninjala active player base pops up again, and all of a sudden when we see first anniversary coming back, maybe people come back, the games will be changed. You know, the game has changed a lot since I'm sure some people dropped it or some people have come back to it. And I'm here along for the ride. I'm here with you guys along for the ride. I'm here with Gung Ho along for the ride, and I'm enjoying it. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about being an ambassador is, you know, while you're along for the ride, you're watching the community grow and develop around you as an ambassador, and you're watching the community grow and develop around the company, and it's just it's such a heartwarming thing. And there's so many good people in the Ninjala community, and I like, yeah, sure, every community gets some drama, but honestly, I look past all the drama, because at the heart and soul of this Ninjala community, it's so amazing. So a big congrats on 6 million downloads for Gung Ho. Another thing in Season 4 that actually happened shortly after the 6 million downloads was the announcement of a new featured battle. Now, this featured battle was in a new form of S-Burst called S-Blast. Now, this was a test play, and they have been running this throughout Season 4. What this is doing, as you guys know, in Ninjala right now, when someone bursts, if you do not break their burst with an R attack, what ends up happening is you engage a rock, paper, scissors parry, which to a point is a little bit RNG based. It is a little bit lucky. But S-Blast is a new thing they were testing out that might be implemented into the game into the future. In fact, they just mentioned it on their recent Dev Diary number 13. They want to see more data from S-Blast. S-Blast, basically what it is instead of engaging in a parry scenario, it engages in a blast, which is a massive AoE blast the size of the same parry field that pushes players away from the two players that are engaging and kind of resets everybody back into a neutral state. And honestly, I think this is a great thing for a Battle Royale specific type game. Because if two people are engaging in a 1v1, you know they are hunting for that. There are people who try and come in third party. Like those, you know, the Warp Strike yo-yos, or, you know, the Sound Hammer coming in for an Echoing Scream, or Gumshots coming out of nowhere. But S Blast, it is a neutral reset. Everybody's reset back to a standard point. And parries can still happen if two players attack at the same time. And it does happen, it's just not as often, so you do occasionally have to be ready for that that insta-parry field when both of you maybe go in for a back attack or something like that. But I personally think Blast is a much better option over Burst. We might see, I don't know what they're going to do, if Blast is going to take over Burst, or if they're going to implement a Shinobi card specifically for Blast in the future rather than having Blast take over. Or what they do is Blast takes over and you can equip a Shinobi card that still gives you the parries, which would be very interesting. So there's a lot they can do with S-Blast, and honestly, this was a really fun mode to play. It was something new that they wanted to try out, and honestly, I think it's a big success. I'm sure they've gotten a lot of data from it so far, and I'm excited to see if S-Blast does get implemented into the future of Ninjala. Another thing Ninjala Season 4 did that was brand new was called a Loot Battle Matsuri. Now, honestly, this event kind of underwhelmed me a little bit, but basically what it was is during a certain event period, if you played for a certain amount of time, you would get a sticker. It was like a Marie in Love sticker. It was like a little, like, one of the UTSU characters, Marie. Not Squid Sister Marie, although they do look rather similar. That can't be a coincidence, right? Whatever. But, like, yeah, that was cool. I like that. So you could get that, and of course you could get an emote as well. So there was that. Also, I forgot to mention, but the S-Blast test play also got you an exclusive headphone gear if you played it during the test phases as well. But the Loot Battle Matsuri, I thought there was going to be a little bit more to it. I thought we'd be competing more so on like a leaderboard or something. And the higher we went on the leaderboard, maybe we'd get more medals, maybe we'd get Jala or something like that. But what we got for the first Loot Battle Matsuri, I don't think was bad. I just think it was a little underwhelming in my opinion, because it was just a certain event period. And if you didn't play during that event period, you just don't get the sticker and you don't get the focus emote that was the featured emote. So you can't get those basically ever again unless they come back into the shop at some point. But they were specifically tied to Loot Battle Matsuri. So, I mean, I would like to see Loot Battle Matsuri come back maybe with some changes. Maybe also kind of they add a leaderboard system and you compete for medals or something like that. But honestly, no, the Loot Battle Matsuri wasn't bad at all. But it was, again, like I said, for me it was a little bit underwhelming. Now, we only got a couple things left to talk about in this this review of Season 4. But now we get to talk about my favorite part of Season 4, and this was the collabs. First off, we got Carry Pamu Pamu Part 2, which was awesome. Everybody loved the KPP Part 1 collab, the outfit, the song, and everything. And not only did we get a second song from KPP, from Carry Pamu Pamu herself, but, you know, a new outfit, a new, you know, just a new battle track, which was really cool. A new, like, I don't think there was an emote tied to this one, but they brought back all the stuff from KPP Part 1 and added it to Part 2 as well. So you had a chance to get the collab items from KPP Part 1 again, and that was really cool. You could earn the Epone again. You could get the outfit from KPP Part 1 again. And I even made a video on KPP Part 2. But it was a hilarious video where I put hit markers every time I got a hit and it didn't actually register, which you guys should definitely go watch that video. It's probably one of my favorite videos I've worked on in a very long time. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the Carry Pamu Pamu Part 2 collab, but it wasn't my favorite collab, because the other collab that happened in Season 4, the Let It Die collab, was my absolute favorite collab in the game. Granted, we did not get a song from Let It Die. I'm slightly disappointed on that, but the main reason is because there's copyright issues with that, and all the songs from Let It Die in the Let It Die soundtrack are literally titled Let It Die, but they're made in different genres by different bands, so that's why there'd be a lot of copywriting issues. You have to get the right band for the right song. So instead, we got the song Higher Higher on the outfit, but for the Let It Die collab, we got a Let It Die t-shirt. There was a Let It Die e-pone, which I have equipped, and it looks so good. The Uncle Death thing. We got an Uncle Death mask, and the t-shirt was really cool, as well as a board skin. Now, the board skin was a legendary board skin, and you could earn 3 per day during the Let It Die, but if you had the pass, just getting the Let It Die board skin once would make it permanent for you. So that was absolutely awesome, and I enjoyed that so much. My favorite collab, the only thing that was missing from this collab was that song. It was so good, though, man. I really like the Let It Die collab. It's honestly my favorite collab so far, but I'm excited to see what they do with more collabs in the future as well. And now, we get to what I wanted to talk about a long time ago in this review. As I mentioned, the permanent weapon skins, and this thing that I wanted to talk about that could give you more permanent weapon skins. And this is where the first ever Ninjala collection card volume came in. Now, this is only Volume 1, and Volume 1 Plus is now up for pre-order as well on Premium Bandai if you're in the US. So feel free to check that out, or go follow at Play Ninjala on Twitter and go find the link. It should be like one of their first tweets there to order card packs. And these card packs is basically like you're opening a Pokemon box, right? There's 40 cards, 2 cards in a pack, 20 packs basically. And in these packs there were normal cards, which were like normal weapon skins. There were SSR cards, there were SR cards, and there were R cards. The SSR cards were exclusive to these packs, and you would, much like the Let It Die collab, how you could earn 3 of the Let It Die Uncle Death board skins. With the SSR cards themselves, first off, they had unique art and unique designs, and they were the only way you would be able to get them is if you actually got the Ninjala collection cards. But there was also a costume that was tied to it as well. But when you put in one of the card codes in Ninjala, you would get and complete the minigame. First off, you get tier points toward your tier. So having the cards while you did not complete your pass, it's 500 tier points for every card you scan. Pretty much. I think if it's SSR, you get 500 tier points just for completing the little mini game. But completing the little mini game, you would get weapon skins. And the weapon skins you get 3 of, and this kind of goes back to what I said about the pass with having permanent weapon skins. So if you had an SSR card, you would get 3 of the gum for that SSR card. First off, I'm holding one of the cards in my hand right now, and you can't see it, but the card art looks amazing. They did a really good job with these cards, and I'm basically keeping them in boxes. I might actually go put them in sleeves because they actually look super good, the SSRs. But there was some really cool stuff with these cards, and you know, you could unlock these cards, and you could have them as permanent weapon skins. There was a costume tied to one of the SSR cards, which you could only get in the Ninjala card packs. Is it money hungry? I would say no, and here's the reason. I don't think it's a money grab from Ninjala. Ninjala, kind of like Splatoon in Japan, is huge. Ninjala in Japan, like Splatoon, has a manga. It's got merchandise everywhere. It's got, you know, collectibles. It's got cards. So honestly, I'm not surprised that something like this happened with Ninjala, and I think it's just, again, it's so cool to see that, you know, Ninjala and Gung Ho, they are finding success in their stuff, and they really just enjoy what they're doing, and I'm super happy they enjoy what they're doing. I'm super happy they're giving us all this stuff. I'm super happy they're coming out with all these updates. But the Ninjala collection cards, I think, were just such a great idea. These cards look really good. If you guys did not, like, I did a video actually with Paddlesnake and a fellow ambassador, Chicken Place, and we did a card opening. We did like a card opening box video. That video was like 40 minutes long. I did on the channel, and you know, we were just laughing, having a good time the whole way because the card art just looked so good, and the reactions to everybody pulling SSRs was great. It's one of those experiences where it's like opening a Pokemon card box and knowing that, hey, I got like a God pack or something like that. It was really fun, and I'm very pleased with the Ninjala Collection Card Volume 1. And with Ninjala Collection Card Volume 1 Plus, I already pre-ordered them. I already pre-ordered them, and I'm super excited to see what the Season 5, I saw what the costume looks like, and man, that's really the only card I want in 1 Plus. But the board, again, the yo-yo, it's a gold yo-yo for the next card pack. There's a Ninja Caliber with like the 3 little pigs, because Season 5's theme is going to be fantasy, so they made the cards for Volume 1 Plus go along with the theme of the season. It's just such a good idea. I really enjoyed the cards, but God, I've been talking for 30 minutes and I just haven't stopped. I really like what they did for Ninjala Season 4, announcing the Ninjala cards, and they had 2 waves of them, so I'm going to assume they're going to do this with Volume 1 Plus in Season 5 as well. So, if you got a chance to pick up the Ninjala cards at any point, I'd say go for it, because you get free weapon skins, free tier points, and it can be permanent as long as you have the pass, which is really cool too. So, the outfit's always permanent, although the outfit was locked, so that was the one downside is the outfit was locked, but of course, you know, you could change that as time goes on. But yeah, I mean, there's not too much left to talk about here for my review of Ninjala Season 4. I do have one more thing to say, though. And this is kind of happening, like, right at the end of the season here. But, yo, Ninjala getting its first North American tournament. Now, granted, the lottery is selected at random. But the first ever Ninjala tournament, March 20th, in the North American region. It's pretty much very similar to what they've been doing with the JP tournaments. And you know what? I'm sure a lot of people were happy that, you know, Gung Ho was like, all right, we've done a bunch of JP tournaments and they've been a success. Now we're going to start bringing them to other points in the world. And I know so many people are hyped for the first North American Ninjala tournament. I hope you guys have a great time for those who are competing. For my fellow ambassadors, Starling, Empress, and Logic, who will be commentating the tournament with other members of Gung Ho staff. I, unfortunately, and this kind of sucks, because as much as I wanted to commentate the first ever North American Ninjala tournament, I actually have other obligations to help run a Splatoon tournament that same day, but that tournament's going to be March 20th, starting, I believe, at 2 p.m. Pacific time, so it's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern time in North America on March 20th. Coincidentally, literally the exact same time my tournament for the Splatoon amateur circuit starts that I'm going to help run. But hey, we have our finals, and I'm very happy for our other ambassadors and Ninjala for doing such a great thing with the first ever Ninjala tournament right at the end of the season, because now, with seeing how JP Ninjala players play, now you're going to start seeing how NA Ninjala players play. And then this is where you can kind of start getting more information about balance patches and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm very pleased with Ninjala's progress so far, and, you know, I hope to see them continue to succeed, you know, as this goes through in the future. But, honestly, that's really all I had to say about Ninjala Season 4. I thought I was going to be talking, honestly, about 40 minutes, but it turns out we actually wrapped up a lot faster than I thought. But, hey, I suppose that's a good thing because, you know, like I said, I personally think Ninjala is on the right track. I think they are doing things well enough. I think, you know, we're going to be getting more patches soon. We're going to be getting more balance changes soon. With Season 5 not having a new map, there is more time to do some of these balance changes and do these adjustments. So, you know, I'm very pleased with the progress Ninjala has had. I'm super excited for the first anniversary coming up in just only 5 months? 4 months? It's coming soon. But yeah, Season 6 will be the Ninjala anniversary, but we got a little ways to go to that. And obviously, I got more Ninjala videos planned on the back burner. But this is like my wrap-up video always for the seasons for Ninjala. So, of course, I hope you guys enjoyed this Ninjala in review for Season 4. If I honestly had to rate my experience with Season 4, while granted I didn't play Ninjala as much as I used to in the previous seasons with Season 4, mainly just because I couldn't stand the meta, I think I'm gonna give it an 8. I think I'm gonna give it an 8. While I wasn't overly impressed, no, take it back. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 because while I wasn't overly impressed, there are things that I can see Ninjala Season 4 did right. My favorite collabs in this one. It's moving in the right direction. We just need the fixing of a lot of those other issues. But of course, with that, guys, that is going to wrap it up for me here. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Ninjala Season 4. Of course, if you did like this video, just as a quick reminder one last time, do me a favor and hit that like button, as well as hitting that subscribe button for more content like this on the channel. Let's get to 5,000 subs by the end of the year. We're definitely going to be able to do that. And as always, before I go, I do have to thank my donators over there on Patreon for their continued support to the channel. MickeyPhorGens, Thomas, and Styleno, thank you guys for supporting the channel for so long. And as always, until then, this is CAJ Man 777 signing off. Stay safe, everybody.